Hello friends, my name is Arfat Hussain and today I'm back with another lecture, another topic, and this topic is closely related with our current crisis of COVID-19. I'm going to discuss today about the coronavirus, how it enters inside our body, what are its diagnosis, and how it affects our lungs, our respiratory system, and how it can be diagnosed and what is its treatment. Today we are going to cover all those things. And one more thing, what is the black fungus? What is that mucormycosis? Today we are going to discuss all those things. This coronavirus enters in our body with the help of its spike proteins. This coronavirus has the spike proteins over the surface of its body, and those spike proteins completely fits with the receptors of our respiratory system. So our respiratory system has the receptors. Those receptors accept the spike proteins of coronavirus. So we can say the spike proteins fits in the receptor of our respiratory system. So this way we can say the coronavirus enters in our respiratory system. Now, people have taken the vaccines. What is the function of those vaccines? What vaccines are doing? Vaccines are locking the spike proteins of the coronavirus. When the spike proteins are locked, those locked spike proteins are not accepted by our receptors present in the respiratory system. When the receptors do not accept the spike proteins, so the coronavirus is not accepted by our body, so the coronavirus stays outside. Coronavirus does not infect our body. One more thing, we are using the sanitizers. What those sanitizers are doing? Sanitizers are shaving off those spike proteins. Sanitizers destroy the spike proteins of coronavirus, so coronavirus cannot enter inside our body. Coronavirus cannot infect our body. And one more thing, this is the effect of sanitizer, this is the effect of vaccine. Now, when we got this infection, when we are getting this infection, when the coronavirus enters inside our body, what it does inside our body then? Firstly, it meets up with the ribosomes. Why? Because ribosomes are the only cell organelles that are used in the replication of any foreign body. So coronavirus enters inside our body and first finds out the ribosomes, so that it will start its multiplication. So coronavirus enters inside our body, meets up the ribosomes and makes it starts making its own copies. So ribosomes are the Xerox machines, photostat machines of our body. They can make the copies of anything. Whatever you are going to give to the ribosomes, they will make the copies of it. That is their function. Now, when we got this infection, when the coronavirus came inside our body, when we got the COVID infection, that time doctors prescribe one medicine that is known as remdesivir. Remdesivir is the antiviral drug that comes into the action when we get the COVID infection, when we get the corona infection. When coronavirus started its multiplication in the respiratory system, in the lungs, when their count increases more and more, their increment in the count leads to the hypoxia, leads to the dyspnea, leads to the difficulty in breathing, because their accumulation in the lungs will be more. Because of that reason, the person will be unable to breathe properly. The person feels the difficulty in breathing. So difficulty in breathing, that's known as dyspnea. After getting any type of infection, there remains the three stages: mild, moderate, and severe. When the infection crosses the mild stage and reaches to moderate and severe stage, that time remdesivir medication is given. Remdesivir injection is administered. Why it is not given in the mild stage? Because when you have the mild stage, it means your body is fighting against the infection. Your body is killing the infected particle, infected material inside your body. But when it crosses the mild stage, it means infection is increasing. That time you need to give the medication from outside, so that infection can be subsided. Spike proteins only help the coronavirus to enter inside our body. It is RNA, it is genetic material, is the main dangerous part that damages our lungs. RNA is the main damaging part, main dangerous part of the coronavirus that damages our respiratory system, damages our lung tissues. Similarly to other RNA, DNA, it also contains the nitrogenous bases. It contains adenine, guanine, cytosine, and uracil. It lacks thymine. Thymine is not present in the coronavirus. So combination of these four nitrogenous bases with the pentose sugars and phosphates makes it RNA. So when researchers saw it as genetic material, when researchers studied about the coronavirus, what they find out, they they thought that there are two options to eliminate this virus from the human body. One, to destroy its bases, one of the bases, either adenine, guanine, cytosine, or thymine, one of the bases should be destroyed so that whole virus can be destroyed, whole virus can be eliminated from the body of human beings. Second option is to break the nucleotide bonding. Nucleotide bond, the bond that is formed between the nucleotides is known as phosphodiester bond. They said there are two options to eliminate the coronavirus from the human body. One, to destroy it is one of its bases. Second, to break the nucleotide bond, to break the phosphodiester bond in the RNA. These two options will allow us to eliminate the coronavirus from the human body. But these two options were too difficult to operate. These two options were too difficult to make them possible. Then researchers thought what we should do. They planned to introduce the duplicate of one of its bases. There are four bases: adenine, guanine, cytosine, and uracil. They planned to introduce the duplicate of one of its bases so that coronavirus can make the copies with the duplicate base. And if any organism is multiplying with the duplicate base, that organism is not going to work out. That organism is not going to work out. That organism is not going to infect any person, anything. Now researchers thought to introduce the duplicate of any of the nitrogenous base so that there will be no formation of the original coronavirus. This is the final plan of the researchers to eliminate the coronavirus infection from the human body. Now what they did, they saw the four bases and which base is more easy to form. That is the adenine. Adenine is the easiest base to make any. After that, what researchers did, they planned to introduce the duplicate nitrogenous base, so that original copies of coronavirus cannot be formed. You know, if we are introducing the adenine, if we are giving in the injection form or in the tablet form, when there is availability of adenine in our body, what coronavirus will do? Coronavirus will find easy, because base is available there, coronavirus will find it easy to make it as more copies. But coronavirus do not know that this is the duplicate base. Coronavirus keeps on multiplication with the duplicate base. But this coronavirus is too dangerous. This coronavirus, that's why this coronavirus is thought to be made in the lab. This coronavirus, there is not even a single virus who can have these many properties, who can have these many qualities. This coronavirus has the enzyme, it exhibits one enzyme that has the proofreading ability. That enzyme detects the duplicate base. Now there are four bases. Researchers have to think which one base they have to replace with the duplicate base. There is adenine, cytosine, thymine, and uracil. Among these four bases, adenine is more easier to make in the lab. So researchers decided to introduce the medications in the form of duplicate base, in the form of duplicate adenine. So when the researchers introduced the medication, when the researchers made the medication, prepared the medication in the form of duplicate base, and that duplicated base medication is known as remdesivir. When we are giving the remdesivir, it is actually, we are introducing the duplicate base, we are introducing the duplicate adenine in the human body. And when there is availability of the adenine, and it's not the real adenine, it is the duplicate adenine, when there is huge availability of adenine, what ribosomes will do, ribosomes have the available adenine. They will find it more easier to make the more copies of coronavirus, because the adenine that we are introducing through the remdesivir, duplicate adenine that we are going to introduce through the remdesivir by the help of remdesivir medication, remdesivir injection, that adenine is similar to the adenine of coronavirus. So when coronavirus will multiply, it will multiply with the duplicate base. When coronavirus is multiplying, finally it will reach to the point when it will realize that it is multiplying with a wrong base, with a duplicate base, because it has one enzyme, it exhibits one enzyme that detects the duplicate base, and that enzyme is known as 3,5-exoribonuclease. That enzyme has the proofreading ability. It detects the duplicate adenine and starts removing the duplicate adenine and starts attaching the original adenine, but the time is too late, because it has to come back, to remove the duplicate adenine and to attach the original adenine. That time what we are doing, we are administering more remdesivir. We are giving 5, 6, 7, 8 doses of remdesivir. When there is administration of more dosage of remdesivir, there will be huge production of duplicate adenine. That time this 3,5-exoribonuclease will think that this is the only real form, because it's available in abundance. That time it starts making the copies of coronavirus with duplicate adenine, and continues so on and so on. But when there is multiplication of coronavirus with the duplicate adenine, that will not be the original form of coronavirus. That coronavirus cannot infect the human body. This way this remdesivir works out in our body, and this way the human body gets rid from this infection, because it is more concentration confuses the coronavirus. Duplicate adenine concentration confuses the coronavirus and keeps on multiplying with the duplicate adenine, and finally does not work out, does not infect, does not damage the lungs, and hence is eliminated from our body. When original copies of coronavirus are not formed, our antibodies that are already present in our body will start destroying the coronavirus, because original copies of coronavirus are not formed, and this way the elimination of coronavirus will occur inside our body. So this way remdesivir works out in our body. This remdesivir medication has certain side effects, as every medication has its own side effects. This medication also exhibits some of the side effects. For example, first one, it reduces the number of RBCs, it reduces the number of red blood cells, and this way the patient feels weakness. It has one more side effect, that is hypertension. It increases the blood pressure of the patient. Actually this remdesivir was prepared to fight against the Ebola virus, but during the arrival of coronavirus, it was found to be effective to fight against the coronavirus also. Many people after getting this infection lost their life because of hypoxia. Hypoxia means depletion in the oxygen level in our body. When there is huge concentration of coronavirus in the lungs, and it reduces the space for the oxygen for gaseous exchange. When there is less space for oxygen exchange in the lungs, definitely it will lead to the hypoxia, and when there is severe hypoxia, it leads to the death of the patient, death of the person. These COVID patients are facing one more problem, that is blood clotting. Their blood clots in the veins because of this infection. For that, one more medication is prescribed to these patients, that is the blood thinners. That is the heparin. Heparin is the anticoagulant that helps the patient in preventing the blood clotting inside the veins, inside the vessels. Now, when the patient has got the COVID infection and it has crossed the mild stage and has reached to the moderate and severe, remdesivir is given. Okay, But there is also the inflammation. When our body fights against the infection, it leads to the inflammation. That time what we are doing, we are giving the steroids in the form of MPS, that is methylprednisolone or dexamethasone. What those medications are doing, they are suppressing the immune response of our body so that inflammation will be reduced. Inflammation means immune response. Our body is responding, our body is fighting. When we have to reduce that inflammation, we have to suppress the immune response, we have to suppress the action of our body against the infection. So when we are suppressing the immune response of our body, when we are suppressing the action of our body against the infection, that time there are the chance of getting more infections, there are the chance of getting the bacterial infection, because our immune system is not working now because of steroids. So for that purpose antibiotics are given. That's why remdesivir is given for the coronavirus. Steroids are given to reduce the inflammation. Antibiotics are given to prevent the infection, bacterial infection. And this bacterial infection is the complication of steroids here, because steroids suppress the immune response. Now, anybody who is fighting with someone, who has to fight with the opponent, has to recognize the opponent first. Okay, so coronavirus is inside our body, or we can say the infection is present inside our body. Our antibodies has to recognize the infection, has to recognize the antigen, has to recognize the opponent. How they are recognizing? They are recognizing with the help of cytokines. Cytokine helps the antibodies in recognizing the infection, in recognizing the antigen, and then the antibodies are attacking the opponent and killing the and destroying the infection. So when the infection remains hidden, when the infection is not expressing itself, and when the antibodies are unable to detect, when the antibodies are unable to visualize, when the antibodies are unable to recognize the opponent, that time what they are doing, cytokine production becomes more. Cytokine is produced in higher concentration so that they will help the antibodies in recognizing the opponent, in recognize the infection, so that they can destroy the infection. But when the cytokine production is in higher concentration, there will be the confusion everywhere, in the tissues, in the organ. Cytokine says this is the antigen, and the antibody is going to kill the antigen. Another cytokine, there is the huge concentration of cytokine. It leads to the confusion between the antibodies, and antibodies starts attacking the tissues of our lungs. And this way our own body is killing our own body, our own antibodies are killing our own tissues. So this higher concentration, this condition where the antibodies are unable to recognize the antigen and leads to the production of higher concentration of cytokine, is known as cytokine storm. This is known as cytokine storm, no tsunami of cytokine. And this way our own antibodies are damaging our own tissues. So to suppress the production of cytokine, steroids are given. Immune response is stopped, immune response is depleted by the help of steroids, because steroids always suppress the immune response. This is not normal immune response, this is the hyperimmune response. Hyperimmune response should always be reduced, and here it is stopped by the help of steroids, by giving dexamethasone or by giving the MPS, that is methylprednisolone. Usually on the 6th day of COVID infection, there remains the chances of getting this cytokine storm. So we should be very careful about the cytokine storm, because cytokine storm is more dangerous than the COVID infection. If you have the COVID infection, corona is damaging your lungs. When along with the COVID infection you are getting the cytokine storm, that time corona is already damaging your lungs. Cytokine storm will also start damaging your lungs, and that will lead to the respiratory arrest and will lead to the death of the patient. If this cytokine storm is low, it's not of that much level, that time steroid is given in the form of tablet. And if this cytokine storm is of next level, is of higher level, that time steroids are given in the form of injection. It's given intravenous. infusion. It is given in the 100 ml of NS. MPS or DEXA is diluted in the 100 ml of NS and is administered through vein. Now there is the problem. The problem is that if you have the mild corona infection has not crossed or reached the moderate and severe stage, that time, what does that mean? That means your body is fighting against the infection. Your body is preventing the coronavirus to cross the moderate and severe stage. That time, if the doctors are prescribing DEXA or MPS, that time if the doctors are prescribing the steroids, that means if the corona infection has not crossed the moderate and severe stage, that time if the steroids are given, that means we are suppressing the immune response. That means we are stopping the action of antibodies. And if we are stopping the action of antibodies, what it leads to, it makes the favorable environment for the coronavirus to multiply, to damage the lungs. So this way we are going to damage our own tissues, we are going to damage our own body. So we should be very careful while prescribing the medication, while prescribing these steroids, because it's not easy to administer the steroids to the corona patient, because if you are giving steroids in the mild stage, it is going to increase the infection, it's not going to decrease the infection. And if it has crossed the moderate and severe stage, that time it's necessary to administer the steroids so that cytokine storm will be prevented and our lung damage will be prevented. Now there is another problem along with this COVID infection, that is the black fungi, that is the mucormycosis, right? How it develops inside our body, what happens actually when there is the COVID patient. COVID patient has a problem in the respiratory system. Corona patient, the patient that's having the corona infection cannot breathe properly. That time what we are doing, we are giving the oxygen supply from outside. But as you know, oxygen cannot be given in the dry form. We are humidifying the oxygen, then we are giving to the patient. Oxygen is passed through the water, distilled water, and then it is given to the patient. When oxygen is humidified and there is mask on the face of patient, so we are giving the wet oxygen, we are giving the humidified oxygen. When there is the supply of humidified oxygen, there will be accumulation of moisture over the nasal nostrils, over the mouth surface, right? This moisture leads to the development of this mucormycosis, leads to the development of black fungi. If you are keeping any cloth, any material that's wet, and you are going to keep that material for some time at rest, definitely that cloth will develop the fungi will be formed over the surface of that cloth. Similarly, when there is the supply of oxygen for longer time, here we have to supply the oxygen for longer time, because if we are removing the oxygen's mask and if we are stopping the oxygen supply, the patient will have to face the hypoxia, and that will be fatal for the patient. So this way humidified oxygen creates the moisture over the nostrils and over the surface of our mouth and leads to the development of fungi, black fungi, that's known as mucormycosis. And there are certain symptoms of mucormycosis. Firstly is the runny nose. Discharges will come out from the nose, and the discharge will be brown black color discharge. Second thing, there will be the pain over the surface of septum, nasal septum. Third thing, the third symptom will be the reddish eyes. When you have the conjunctivitis, allergic conjunctivitis, that time the eye sclera will turn to the red color. Similarly, after getting this infection, black fungi, you will get the red spots over the sclera of eye. If anybody is having redness in the eyes, don't think it is the black fungi infection, don't think it is the That's not the first symptom of mucormycosis. First symptom is the runny nose. Runny nose will continue up for up to 6 7 days. Then there will be the pain over the septum. Then lastly there will be the development of red spots over the sclera of eye. And when this black fungi will develop more and more, it enters into the brain through the eye. There is the connection. Cranium is there na, sphenoid ethmoid. There is the gap, there is one connection, and through that connection, that black fungi will enter into the brain and will lead to the death of the patient. Definitely there are no chances of survival that time. Now there are certain types of diagnosis that will help to detect the coronavirus infection. First one is HRCT. Why HRCT is done? We can do the plain CT, plain computed tomography. We can do. Why high resolution computed tomography is done? When you are watching any videos on YouTube, you will change the pixels from 144 to 240, 240 to 360, 360 to 480, 480 to 720. How much you are increasing, that much the image quality or the picture quality will be good. You will see, you can watch the minute objects very clearly. Similarly here, this coronavirus is not visible in the plain CT. Think that plain CT is the lower pixel, and it needs to be HD, yeah, or HR. HR is high resolution, HD is high definition. It needs HRCT, high resolution computed tomography. As it is not visible in the plain CT, it's visible in the high definition of computed tomography, high resolution of computed tomography. That is why HRCT is done. And there are the scores. 25 score. Why it's only 25? Why it is not less than 25 or more than 25? See, the reason is that our right lung exhibits 3 lobes and our left lung exhibits 2 lobes. So how many lobes are total? 5. And the score for each lobe is given 5. When each lobe exhibits 5 score, how much it will be for the 5 lobes? Definitely 25. So out of 25, we are giving the score for the infection after visualizing through the HRCT. Okay. So if we have, suppose for example, if I have got the COVID infection and my score is 20, and if someone will ask you how much percent your lung is infected after seeing the score 20, just multiply 4. 20 multiply 4, it will become 80. That means 80% of your lung is infected with the coronavirus. If you got a score of 12, multiply 4. Whatever score you are getting, multiply 4, that much percent your lung is infected with the coronavirus. Okay. So this was all about the coronavirus. It is treatment, it is diagnosis, and please, please, please sanitize your hands all the time. It's not yet mandatory only in COVID crisis. It should be our regular habit. It should be our regular activity. Sanitize your hands before touching anyone, and after touching anyone, sanitize your hands again. It will be good for your health. Hope you all have understood whatever I have delivered today. And if you have any type of confusion regarding this topic, you can ask me, and definitely I will reply to your all queries. Thank you.